I 21M got mad at my girlfriend 21F for going into the bathroom with a complete stranger whilst out clubbing. Not sure if NSFW, but story involves drug use. My girlfriend and I went clubbing last night with some of our friends. Everything was cool, we got pretty drunk but were having fun. Near the end of the night out we decide to go out for a smoke in the smoking area, and a guy comes in there too while I was smoking and talking to my girlfriend's stranger. We do not know him. My GF immediately says to this guy, "Oh, I love your glasses," and he thanks her. She then proceeds to complain about how we got a little bit too drunk and would love something to snort. She never did this like TF, so she can wake up a bit. The guy then comes and whispers into her ear. I see her face light up, smiles and nods. The guy grabs her by the hand and goes to the bathroom with her without him or her telling me anything about where they are going, and they simply leave me behind in the smoking area. I think I froze for a minute trying to process what just happened. I then go to the bathroom and I knock for 15 minutes on the door, no response. When she gets out with the dude, I tell her that I'm really mad and that I'm going home and that she disrespected me. She chases me down the street trying to convince me nothing happened and she just snorted some speed with that dude. I am really not jealous and I have full trust in her, but the whole situation was just sketchy. She goes on to say that the dude asked for her Instagram in there and she refused to give it to him and told him she had a boyfriend. I tell her that I really don't care about that and that I got mad for her leaving with another man, a complete stranger mind you, to the bathroom after he whispered kinda sensually in her ear. We then proceed to fight for like half an hour and she admits that she was dumb for doing that. I forgive her, we go back to the club to get our stuff and we go home. Today was really awkward. I am still visibly mad at her and I don't really think I can fully forgive her because the whole situation was very sketchy and I felt humiliated in that moment. I really don't know what to do. We've been together for 2 years, but this has made me reevaluate and rethink my relationship. I really don't want to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't respect me, hasn't the decency to tell me at least where she's going with another dude, and is being this reckless. Like, who knows what that guy could have done in there? Like, drug her and take advantage of her. I really don't know what to think and I'm still in shock. I don't want to break up with her, but I feel like doing it because I just cannot accept what she has done. I feel like throwing up only when thinking about what happened. Would love to go in more detail about our relationship, but this Reddit, not a therapy session. We have an overall pretty healthy relationship and I never seen her act this way or to this reckless extent before. Okay, so I don't know how updates work on Reddit despite being on the site for 4 years. Lamau. So here goes nothing. Update edit. 1. I've seen a lot of people be suspicious about the time frame that she was in the bathroom. I want to clearly state, I am not sure it was 15 minutes. To me, it felt like 15 minutes, but I had no battery nor a watch to tell the time. I guess it was more like 3-5 minutes, but all the pain I was feeling made me feel like that moment was painfully long. 2. Now, speed isn't a costly drug where I live, it's like $4-6 a line. I don't think that equates to a blowjob. 3. I really trusted my GF before this incident. She never did something that would break my trust. Sure, she always gets full attention from guys when we're out clubbing, but never cheated or disrespected me before. 4. I know I made her sound really bad in this post, but she is genuinely a very sweet and caring girl. Maybe that's why I was so in shock when I saw what happened. 5. I will speak today with her. My decision is made, so I guess we'll have to take a break. See if we can really handle things without one another, and in my mind I hope she will work to gain my trust back. We kinda live together, but she can go back to her place since we always stay at my apartment. 6. On a personal note, I really don't think she cheated. Maybe she didn't open the door because of the loud music that was playing in the background. I really don't even care if she cheated. Her leaving holding hands with a stranger whilst I was standing right in front of her is already a very bad thing in itself. She didn't think about her safety, about how I would feel emotionally and so on. Thanks for all your replies, guys. I am grateful that I can see people understanding the rush of emotions I felt that night, from anger to disgust. I felt it all. Redditor's reactions. Story 2 after. Redditor 1, you've been together for 2 years. She's never done drugs with or around you? You don't know your girl that well. Get out now before you invest more time for nothing. Op answer. I mean, she's told me how she would love to try speed or coke, but I never imagined she would actually act out on this desire. Her snorting something just once is not my concern. If she would have told me what she was going to do, I would have been fine. It's that she just left with a dude to the restroom and leaving without explaining is what bothers me. I've known her for 6 years and we are together for 2. I think her being kinda drunk led her to take this stupid decision. Hell, I've done stupider things when I was drunk, but at least I always made sure I wouldn't hurt anyone emotionally. Story 2. I 26M found out my fiancée 27F possibly gave a stripper a handjob at her bachelorette party. I deleted my earlier post because I was so messed up about it at the time. I realized it wasn't healthy to have a conversation about it yet. I made that post right after the guy called me in an attempt to cope, but it didn't work. My thoughts were getting too dark and I needed to completely separate myself from the situation for safety. After holding myself up at my parents' place and surrounding myself with people I could trust, my head is back on straight and I'll fill in those who asked for an update. A quick recap for those who didn't see my original post. I will refer to my fiancée as Jane. One of the bridesmaids' husbands contacted me and told me he had seen something that made him suspect Jane had been S-time with a stripper at her bachelorette party. Any S-time or romantic kissing outside that relationship was a complete deal breaker that was established when the relationship had begun. When I asked him for details, he indicated a handjob in a roundabout way. When I asked if he could be mistaken or misinterpreting a text or overheard conversation, he kept insisting he was 100% sure. I personally know the bridesmaid. I think she was feeling guilty and she was using her husband as some sort of a proxy informant to keep my girlfriend from coming after her when I confronted her. When I got off the phone with the guy, I was so destroyed about it I just shut down. I had just had my own sort of non-bachelor party at home playing WoW Classic with some friends. So to hear this news after such a wonderful day hit extra hard. My cousin who has been friends with Jane since childhood went to the party with her, so I decided to try to calm down and wait until the next day to ask her if she saw anything. At this point I was still hoping this was some sort of misunderstanding or mean prank. Jane didn't live with me, and she was planning on staying the night at her parents' home, so I knew she wouldn't show up unannounced. I basically laid in bed all night staring at the dark ceiling, listening to the Doors and Opeth, trying not to lose my mind. I waited until noon the next day to call my cousin. I wasn't able to get through the first 5 times I called, red alarms going off like crazy now. So when I suspected she was avoiding me, I went over to my parents' place and used my dad's office line. When she finally answered the phone and realized it was me, the somber tone in the voice of a normally annoyingly upbeat 23-year-old party girl pretty much told me everything I needed. Me, I heard things got a little crazier than usual last night. Her, yeah. Me, I think you already know why I'm calling, don't you? Her, yes. Obviously holding back tears at this point. Basically long and weeping cousin story short, I found out Jane did indeed give a stripper a HND job, along with several other women, some of whom are in laters or married. That they then decided to leave the house they were at and drive intoxicated to the strip club afterwards, where Jane and a few other women had private dances. My cousin tried to argue that this doesn't mean Jane doesn't love me, and it was just meaningless fun that got out of hand. This ducking infuriated me. I didn't shout at her, but I told her if that's what she thinks, she has no idea what love actually is. At this point I informed my parents and brothers what was going on, and of course my mother starts crying. Another person hurt by this stupid BLLS it. I spent the rest of the day laying in bed at my parents' house staring at the ceiling, ignoring Jane's calls and texts. I know some people have more open relationships and can get past this stuff, but I'm just not that guy. I'm monogamous all the way to the center. I eventually canceled everything and lost a bunch of deposits. I know it's a BTCH move, but I broke up with Jane over text. I decided it was best to just walk away clean with no serious confrontation. There was nothing to gain by shouting, arguing, making accusations and calling her names. When people are cornered like this when they do something wrong they can lash out, and I didn't want to have the woman I was about to marry say horrible shit to me in some sort of defense of her behavior. I am ducking heartbroken and feel betrayed, and that kind of shit isn't going to help. I just sent her a text explaining I know what she did. I explained I don't want revenge, I'm not interested in humiliating her or her friends and spreading it around, But it is a sure sign that we aren't right for each other and it is over with no possibility of reconciliation. I waited until she responded once to make sure she got the text and have blocked her on my phone and all social media. I gave the crap she had at my place to my cousin to give back to her and I haven't heard anything from her or her family since. I still feel like hammered dog acid, but I am doing better as far as not feeling like a black hole is asking me inside out. But this wasn't like the breakups I had in high school and college. Something broke inside me this time that can't be repaired like before. My confidence is completely destroyed in my body now. I keep thinking what it was about the stripper guy that is so incredible that he could make seemingly faithful woman cheat and potentially throw away everything. Was it bigger muscles, bigger DCK, better looks, better personality? I'm not a supermodel, but I'm decent. I don't act like a BTCH or a pussy. Or am I just stupid? I was 100% sure of this girl, yet I got cheated on right before our wedding. This kind of crap really take a man's soul, grinds it up, eats it and essets it back out. Update, someone from her camp finally contacted me. Her stepdad called me tonight to ask what was going on and if there's any way to fix things. I didn't give him any details, I just explained that Jane stepped outside the bounds of forgivable behavior in our relationship, and there's absolutely no way to salvage things, and any time spent trying by any party is time wasted that would be better spent moving on. When I said that I could tell he understood what it meant and basically what happened. He's a pretty laid-back old school Hispanic dude, said he's sorry things didn't work out, and wished me well. Wasn't super close with the guy, but I will miss hanging out in his garage shooting the acid about motorcycles and stuff. Second update, I just got done talking to the bridesmaid's husband again, who first called me and let me know what was going on. I don't know him, but I am a friendly acquaintance with his wife. Apparently what happened is his wife became extremely uncomfortable when the some of the women started grabbing and stroking the stripper's DCK, and she left and went home. When he asked her why she came home early, she got upset and spilled the beans. More than likely to protect her own marriage if it got out, I would guess. Anyway, dude made a moral call and decided the husbands and boyfriends of the women had a right to know how their significant others were acting when they weren't around, and he made his wife give him all the contact info she had. Seriously, I owe this guy so much. Had I found out about this a few years down the line, the end of the relationship would have been so much worse. His wife still won't talk to me, but it doesn't matter now. I told the dude when things settle down I'm going to take him out and buy him every beer in the bar. Had this dude not had the moral fortitude to make the call, I may have never known. Final update, I 26M found out my fiancée 27F possibly gave a stripper a handjob at her bachelorette party. I deleted the original post, but put a recap in the original update. It's been 10 days since I received the call that ended this relationship. I'm almost back to normal, although I can't quite shake a bit of malaise. Thankfully I had a few days worth of PTO to burn while I worked past this crap. I already scheduled my 2 weeks vacation this year for the wedding, but since it's cancelled I'll just spend it with the family and have a very extended Christmas with them. Outside of a few texts from Jane to my mother when things first blew up and her mother calling the next day after I talked to Jane's stepfather, I haven't heard a peep from their clan since. Jane's mom tried to act as a mediator between us, but I shut that it down and told her it's not possible. She can be a bit pushy, but thankfully she realized it wasn't wise to push this time. I finally got to talk to the bridesmaid whose husband called me. She didn't offer any more details and I didn't care to ask for any more by the time I talked to her. She just called me when she felt comfortable enough to wish me well and tell me she was sorry for what happened. She's a very nice lady and I feel bad for her because she works with quite a few of those women, and I don't envy how they are going to treat her at work. I asked her and thankfully none of them have any managerial authority over her, but it still sucks to ostracized. As far as any of the other women, I haven't heard a thing, and my cousin has done a vanishing act. My mom took care of canceling all the wedding invitations as she was the one who helped send them all out. I asked her to just tell everyone that Jane and I had a change of heart about getting married and decided to put things off for the time being. Frankly, I'm ducking embarrassed about what happened and don't really want to be known among family and friends and people in town as that guy whose ex-fiancée jacked off and possibly screwed a stripper right before their wedding. I'm sure it will eventually get around, but if I let it fade like this, it will be more of a crazy rumor than confirmed fact for most people. I really just want to walk away with as little drama as possible and move on with my life. I've asked my mother to text Jane's mom to get the engagement ring back. Hopefully she won't give me any trouble, as they were expensive, and buddy of mine is willing to buy the ring set for exactly what I paid for them for his wedding in a few months. I told him he'd better not tell his girlfriend where he got them, just in case she's worried my ex was wearing the ring when she was handling stripper guy's joystick. I lost thousands in deposits for the venue, DJ, florist, catering, security, plane tickets, honeymoon suite, etc., etc., etc. I'm hoping I can recoup a little money by selling the rings. Anyway, I've decided to stay away from laters for an indefinite amount of time. This experience has made me very gun-shy about love and relationships and all that mess. People have sent me all kinds of encouraging messages claiming I'll eventually find the one. I'm doing my best not to be overly pessimistic, but when looking at the divorce rates and all the crazy conflicts between men and women these days, I'm starting to think the chances for anyone to do that are getting lower with each passing year. And I'm not the kind of guy who gets over stuff like this by running out and dating some other woman to sport HMP right afterwards. So I think I'll just stay single for now, and focus on my passions and work. Anyway, thanks to everyone who gave encouragement. If anyone else goes through something heartbreaking like this, I highly recommend you stay with family and or close friends you have a good relationship with. I can't overstate how much this helped, especially if you are a guy. Men don't really maintain a circle of support for stuff like this, like many women do, and you can find yourself isolated and descending further into a bad place without positive reinforcement around you. I was able to lay on my childhood bed, in my childhood room, in my childhood home, surrounded by good memories, having my mom come in and bring me tea and food and say sweet encouraging things about how much she loved me and how proud she was of me. I was able to talk with my dad and brothers to distract myself. It helped a lot. Best of luck everyone. Thanks. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, in the long run you did the right thing. You're not alone either. If you ever get bored, search male stripper AMA or male stripper, bachelorette party in these relationship subs. There are other stories similar to yours. Mixing strippers and weddings is the worst idea. I don't know why it's even a thing. Op answer, I eventually did when I was able to handle it. It's shockingly common. Apparently it's more common for there to be sexual touching at women's parties than men's, because female strippers are less likely to allow the men to engage them that way, while many male strippers encourage women to. What I didn't realize until I talked to the bridesmaid was the women who organized the party for my ex through something called a CFNM party, which stands for clothed female, nude male, and are known for occasionally having sexual acts all the way up to vaginal penetration. I don't even think this is legal in my area, as it would technically be prostitution, but no one seems interested in stopping them. Redditor 2, you say you're nearly back to normal. I know there's a lot of pressure to get back on an even keel as quickly as possible, especially when you know you did the right thing, but that's not the same as being normal. And you aren't going to be back to normal for a while, my friend. Something like this may mean you'll never return to how you were. You can be healthy, happy you again, but you'll probably be different. You'll probably need to find a new normal, and it's going to be a while before you've processed this and can get there. Several months at least, possibly years. When I broke up with my ex, I was pretty sure I was coping for the first month, and then out of nowhere found myself in tears. The trauma has a way of sneaking up on you unexpectedly, and it comes in waves. Basically, I'm saying don't rush yourself to be normal too soon. It's not a realistic expectation. Redditor follow-up, I found a comment on Reddit some time ago. At first, emotional baggage is like waves. Right after, the waves are way over your head, and so close together you find yourself gasping for air. Trying to sneak one break between the waves. Sometimes you can. Sometimes you can't. Eventually these waves start spacing themselves out. They're still way above your head, but you get a real chance to breathe between the waves. To tend to yourself between these waves. Eventually the waves height lower enough to where you find yourself not struggling to keep your head above them. You've become a better swimmer, and much better at dealing with the waves than before. You're almost in the clear. Then unexpectedly the large waves come intermittently, surprising you, but you recover much faster than before because you know how to come back now, and before you know it, the waves aren't even a passing thought anymore. Sure, some knock you back randomly, but you're more prepared for a better person overall. Redditor 3, this happened to me a couple of years ago with infidelity. A buddy of mine sent me this and helped when I was down. I hope it helps you. Good luck. 1. Travel light through life. Keep only what you need. 2. It's okay to cry when you're hurt. It's also okay to smash some things, but wash your face, clean your mess, and get up off the floor when you're done. You don't belong down there. 3. If you're going to curse, be clever. If you're going to curse in public, know your audience. 4. Seek out the people and places that resonate with your soul. 5. Just because you can, doesn't mean you should. 6. Happiness is not a permanent state. Wholeness is. Don't confuse these. 7. Can't is a cop-out. 8. Hold your heroes to a high standard. Be your own hero. 9. Never lie to yourself. 10. Your body, your rules. 11. If you have an opinion, you better know why. 12. Practice your passions. 13. Ask for what you want. The worst thing they can say is number 14. Wish on stars, then get to work to make them happen. 15. Stay as sweet as you are. 16. Fall in love often. Particularly with ideas, art, music, literature, food and far-off places. 17. Reserve I'm sorry for when you truly are. 18. Question everything, except your own intuition. 19. You have enough. You are enough. 20. You are amazing. Don't let anyone ever make you feel you are not. 21. Be happy and remember your roots, family is everything. 22. Say what you mean and mean what you say. 23. Be kind, treat others how you would like them to treat you. 24. Own the game, and win every time. 25. Always keep moving forward. Never look back.